Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is featherweight prospect Alex Coover. Hello, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good, and you are quite busy this year because you won two fights already. And if you can tell me, maybe we will start from your first bout. It was LFA 200. I think that it was like a big stage and overall really solid opponent. And you beat him, you finished him. It was like another finish from you. So if you can tell me, how did you feel after this fight on LFA?
Yeah. So I felt I felt like it kind of validated where I was at. He was a really good kickboxer. He came out really strong. He hurt me with the first kick he threw. So I actually did study some film on him, and he wasn't very aggressive. And then all of a sudden in this fight, he just came out super aggressive. So there was a little adversity at first. But then yeah, I did get the finish. And then I got a lot of people contact me after that. So yeah, it was nice. It felt good.
And did you do you still have a contract with LFA?
No, so it was just a one fight contract. Um, so it was yeah. I just wanted to fight on. I fought on a couple. So Synergy, they're a promotion out in Missouri. I fought for their title. Um, so that was a pretty big show. And then I wanted another one. So I did LFA, which is probably the next biggest show before you get to the big stage. Um, and then I talked to a couple managers, and they wanted me to get another finish. So I fought for the MCC title here in Des Moines, which it's a local show to me, and I got another finish there. So yeah, kind of a busy year.
But also you have this kind of style that you are always finishing your opponents. So usually you are not hurt in your fights.
Yeah, not really. I've had one of my pro fights go the distance, and that was kind of before I knew like tactics, and I was just out there kind of just fighting instead of fighting smart. I was just out there kind of brawling. So that one did go the distance. But yeah, all my wins are finishes. So
And actually, I think that your fight last September against Ray Heiss, it was like a super big fight, and of course he is, and he was, and he's like a really big prospect, one of the like better fighters in the featherweight division in like regional scene, and you knocked him out in the first round. So probably it is the biggest victory of your career.
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah, he was undefeated. Again, finishing all of his guys. He fought a lot of good guys. Um, so that was yeah, that was a big win, and I definitely got a lot of notoriety from that one, and a lot of people hit me up for that as well. So um, yeah, I always knew I was at that level. It felt really good to perform that way. So
And before your fights, do you feel any different when you fight against like let's say top level prospect and feeling different against like a veteran of the sport? Or do you is it like any difference for you?
I mean, it just after so that was like a big for Ray. That was a big step up in competition. So that's the most nervous I've ever been before a fight. Uh, I told my cousin and my cornerman that I mean, dude, I'm so nervous. And he's like, you're good. You're good to go. So after that, I feel like the nervousness for big fights kind of went down because I knew I'm at that level too. So, but yeah, that first step up in competition, I was the most nervous I've ever been. So I get nervous before all of them. I'm not gonna lie.
But probably one of your next fight also can be like a really big stage, because I think that right now with the quite long winning streak, you are on the like verge of going to the like Contender Series, because it's like the right now the best option to get to the UFC. So do you think that this is possible for you to fight for in the Contender Series this year?
Yeah. So I haven't put this out there yet. It'll be announced probably early next week. I just signed with Ruby Sports Entertainment. Daniel Rubenstein. Um, he manages like Drakus Duplessis. Just he's got a bunch of good guys. So he believes, and I believe we have a really good chance at the Contender Series this summer. Um, but he told me to stay ready just in case we can get a short notice fight just directly into the UFC. I would probably prefer that, but I mean, I'm gonna keep working my way up.
And about your weight, how quickly can you make like featherweight limit?
Yeah, that featherweight kind of sucks to make. But I've become more disciplined in my diet and just got the process down more. So I can make it. It's gonna suck either way. I'll be able to make it. I'll be within cutting range at all times now. So
And even like I believe like 2 years ago, the one fighter get a short notice fight against like Jim Miller, so it was a big opportunity for him.
yeah,
He lost the fight, but it's like it's possible from like going from the regional scene to get to like a UFC legend actually.
yeah. So the synergy. They had their light heavyweight champ. He was 5-0, and they called him up to fight. I think the number 15 guy at the time. Uh, couple weeks ago. So yeah, it's definitely possible. There was a fall off for the card here in Des Moines on May 3rd. Um, so I was in the conversation of getting that fight, but they just moved the whole fight to Canada. So it was unfortunate. It would be, I mean, it's my son's first birthday on May 3rd, so it'd be kind of cool to fight that day, but
Yes, it's
probably
like
probably not gonna happen now. But I'll be ready. So
yes, it would be like perfect story, and I believe that Jeremy Stevens will be
yep,
back in this card.
yep. He's from Des Moines too. So yeah, it's a really good card actually. I'm looking for. I got tickets to it, so it'd be cooler to fight on it, but I got tickets anyways.
And about your beginnings in the sport, if you can tell me what was the like first combat sport that you ever train?
So being from Iowa, basically you wrestle since you are a baby. So wrestling was the first combat sport I did, um, and then I wasn't even really interested in fighting until after I got out of college. I didn't really. I played college football, and then didn't really have anything going for me. Like I had no goals. I wasn't competing. Um, my family's basically started the sport here in Iowa, so I just kind of followed in their footsteps. Started training. Took my first fight about 5 months after training, and I won by knockout in like 30 seconds, and then kind of just kept going from there. After I picked it up, I couldn't stop. So
So
here we are, 7 years later.
probably when you won your first fight really quickly is this kind of feeling that you know that this is a sport for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it gave me just goals. Um, Makes me healthier. I eat healthy, just working out every day, staying away from like parties and stuff like that. So it's made me better all around. And then it turns out I was kind of good at it. So,
And what is like the main gym right now for you?
so I train at it's Elite Edge. There's a couple locations here in Des Moines, but I train in Grimes. My cousin, I don't know if you know him, Johnny Case. He fought in the UFC. He fights for Ryzen now, over in Japan. So he started a program over there. So he's the head coach over there. So I moved over there with him. And yeah, since I've moved over there with him, I'm undefeated with all finishes. So
Yes, I remember that Johnny got like really good record in the UFC. It was, I'm
UFC,
not sure what it was, but definitely much more wins than losses. And he was like at one time a really big prospect in the UFC.
yep. Yeah, he was like 4-2. And then he fought Jake Matthews, who's like a welterweight now, and then uh, Anthony Martin. I think those were his two losses, which they both went to welterweight. So
And you mentioned before that you are like quite stressed before your fights. And do you do something with it, like trying to maybe like visualization, maybe breathing techniques, or you are focused on something else, just not to think about your upcoming fight?
I don't know. I kind of just ride the wave. I it's gonna happen regardless. So I think I've just found better ways to deal with it, and like think about it as like I'm nervous because I really want to do well, and I'm prepared. So not really any special rituals. After my son was born, it definitely took a little weight off the shoulders. Not really like I know some people say when their son's born or their kid's born, it's a motivation thing. Um, it kind of just took weight off my shoulders in terms of like, fighting. I do love fighting, and I really believe I can make it, but it's not the only thing that matters anymore. Um, so it just took weight off my shoulders to be able to perform more freely and not worry about the outcome because I know I'm prepared for it. So yeah, after my son was born, it got easier.
And of course you finish your opponents really quickly. You have like about like under the minute finishes. You are like super dangerous, especially in the first round. But I am always like curious about your about like fighters cardio when you are finishing fights really quickly. So how do you feel about it, and do you think that it will not be a problem in like 15 minutes fight?
Yeah. So yeah, my second pro fight was my only fight that went to decision. Um, and I mean, I lost a split decision. I really think I won that fight. But I was in, I'm in far better shape now than I was then, and I went all 15 minutes then, no problem. You're gonna get tired. That's when the fight starts, is when you get tired. So I know I'm gonna get tired, but I'll deal with it. So I have good cardio. I mean,
And it is probably like a little bit like a mental game. When you are a little bit tired, your opponent is a little bit tired, and it's like mental warfare to see who is like who is more tired. And I think that you can like break your
yeah,
opponent a little bit when you like seems to be like quite fresh.
yeah. That's when like the skills and like game plan and tactics come into play. If you have good skills and tactics, you're gonna use less energy and be more efficient. So that's kind of what I've been shooting for ever since switching over to this gym, and it's been working. So
And do you have like maybe style in mind that you would like to face in one of your like next fights? Maybe like wrestler, maybe good striker.
um, I faced, I guess, yeah, I don't know, maybe a wrestler, um, but that's usually how the fight plays out, anyways. So we start out, and I usually hit them with something big, and then it turns into a wrestling match, anyways. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've faced all different kind of styles. My previous two opponents were both really good strikers. This last guy was just a seasoned vet. He had over 50 pro fights, fought in the WEC. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm well versed for every style. So
And do you have like the finish in mind that you would like to end your fight with? Maybe like submission or knockout by like any specific technique?
usually the submission would be a rear naked choke, just because I get on top and I'm punishing them, and then they're just gonna have to turn their back. And then at that point, they're softened up, and I usually get the choke. Um, yeah, otherwise, a good old overhand right works pretty well. Um, I've gotten good at slipping longer jabs just because I'm always going to be a shorter fighter. So the overhand right, my hooks, yeah, I mean that's kind of the bread. Leg kicks, soften them up. But any finish is good with me.
But I think also that it is really good when you can finish a fight, like finish a fight like knockout or submission when you get to the UFC, because it's like big chance that you will finally get some like performance of the night bonus. And of course, there are a lot of finishes on the card, so sometimes even like great finishers like wait a bit to get this bonus and this money. But I think that with your style, it would be like quite possible to have this like knockout of the night.
Yeah, and that would definitely help me out. So, yeah, finish is always the goal. But I know that's probably not going to last forever. So I'm just worried about getting better and getting the wins.
Do you have like a fighter in mind from the UFC that you would like to fight against? It would be like maybe like a dream fight, maybe the fight will happen, maybe not, but in your head it is like, oh, it would be like a really exciting fight.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now. In featherweight, I get told that I have like Ilia Topuria style. I'm not ready to fight him right now, but that'd be a that'd be a fun fight to get up to. So
I actually think that featherweight right now is like one of the best divisions in the UFC. It's probably like bantamweight and featherweight, but featherweight is like a lot of like interesting things happens right now. So I think that you could be matched with a lot of really good fighters, either ranked or unranked, because like level
yeah.
is like super high.
Yeah, when you get to that level, everybody knows how to fight. Um, Everybody's going to be scary that you fight. So at that point, you just got to worry about making sure you're as well prepared as you can be. Um, yeah, just tactics. Like that's a really big thing that my cousin has instilled in me is tactics. Because we're fighting, so you can be a skilled kickboxer, you could be a skilled wrestler, but if you have better tactics, um, that gives you an advantage having better tactics. Whereas just going out there and fighting and being a better kickboxer. Um, just be better tactically.
Do you have like a fighter right now from the UFC that when he's fighting, you know that you have to tune in and watch his fight?
Who do I like to watch? Well, my favorite was the Korean Zombie. But yeah, he's retired now. Um, let's see. I don't know. I like all the fights, so they're all pretty intriguing to me.
I
Who's
actually
fighting tonight? Who's fighting tonight?
Ian Gary
Yeah,
against yes
Prates.
Carlos. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yes, definitely. And when you mentioned Korean Zombie, I thought that maybe it would be like some kind of dream fight, him against like Jeremy Stevens. It would be like maybe quick fight, but it would be like really big bombs thrown.
Yeah, yeah, that's zombie style kind of. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to mimic as well. Just he's really good at bringing his base into the ground, so he has a lot of power. And I feel like me being the shorter fighter, usually that's how I have to fight. So yeah, that'd be a fun fight, but I don't know. I don't I don't want to fight Jeremy. He's from the same town as me. He's really good friends with my cousin, so I probably wouldn't want to fight him.
Yes, and actually he's like resurgent in BKFC. It's kind of crazy. I think that he gained a lot of fans. I think that he had a lot of fans before it because he's like long career in the UFC. But in BKFC, I think that he definitely gained some more people behind him.
Yeah, he fits into BKFC so well. He's a nice guy, but then he's really mean when it's time to go. So he definitely fits in with the BKFC.
And about your career, do you have like on the paper on or in your mind like the list of goals that you would like to hit in your MMA career?
So I haven't until this year. I again my cousin he's already been there, so he's helping me navigate that. Um, and yeah, he really made me sit down and like write out my goals. And one of the goals that I have in my journal was get a short notice fight for May 3rd UFC, and it like almost did happen. But yeah, so I guess the goal for me would be just keep climbing and go as far as I can go. Be a world champion.
Yes, I think that this like Iowa card, it would be like a perfect story when you could get to this point. It's probably right now a little bit hard because it's just 1 week,
Yeah,
but it would be like perfect scenario. But I still think that it would be great. But you can get there from the like different like doors, let's
yeah,
say, and then the
yep.
Contender Series shot. I think that it's quite possible for you right now.
Yeah, so that I've been hearing a lot lately that basically the only way you're going to get into the UFC, um, unless you're like a world champion kickboxer or like D1 national champ wrestler or something like that, is the Contender Series or a short notice fight. So, um, I'd rather just have the short notice fight and get right in, but you know, I'll do whatever it takes.
Okay, Alex, so many thanks for the conversation. I hope that you will get maybe one more win. Maybe your next fight will be in the Contender Series, but you will get this chance to fight for the contract, because I think that right now you are on this kind of long winning streak, and you deserve to be like mentioned as the one of the fighters on this list to get to the UFC.
I really appreciate that. I feel the same way. I just need that shot. I just need that chance to show everybody. So I'm working for it.